Tommy Sevilla here from Sevilla Local Media. I'm here on behalf of Steve Harriman, who is the founder and organizer of this year will be the 11th annual Solomon
Togisala Memorial Boxing Tournament, also known as the SoCal State Amateur Boxing Championships.
Which last year had to undergo a little bit of a change on account of COVID, correctly?
Because of COVID, we held a tournament in Prim, Nevada with over 800 boxers showing up on a 3-day tournament with 3 rings.
We call that the Gold and Silver Championships?
Gold and Silver States Amateur Boxing Championships with the help of LBC 49.
Nice. So you and I had talked before, and you had mentioned to me that this is actually a realization, the 11th annual, of something that's been a long time coming, which is having it here at Paloma High School.
Well, for the past 10 years, before COVID, we held it at the Valley White Park and Rec in Menifee. It's always been known as also Menifee's main event. But we outgrew the Valley White facility, so we moved it here to Paloma Valley High School in Menifee. Still, Menifee's main event.
Menifee's main event. Now, Menifee doesn't even have a boxing gym as far as we know, right?
No. There's many boxing gyms around in the area. I was hoping to open a gym up in Menifee, but the availability of somewhere to rent doesn't exist right now. So one day we may have a boxing gym here in Menifee. We're working on it.
Sounds great. So to your right here, there's a beautiful young lady, and I remember seeing a video recently where she looks like the announcer, the MC of the event, and her orator skills are pretty awesome, and I think that maybe that's why she went to law school and became a barrister.
No, she went to law school because I get in a lot of trouble, and I couldn't afford attorneys anymore, so with the money I invested in her to become a lawyer to help protect my citizenship.
And it was, so we have Nancy Rose. And Nancy Rose hyphen.
Nancy Rose, one word.
Nancy Rose, okay. Yep.
Nancy Rose Hernandez.
Hernandez, that's what I was alluding to. And so it was either a lawyer or a bail bondswoman, maybe?
It was a lawyer or nothing.
A lawyer or nothing. So Nancy, this is your father, Steve Harriman, obviously. Your mother's here sitting at the desk over there. Now, I'm sure that you've probably been to each and every one of these over the last 11 years.
I have. I've been at every single one of them, and I've been the MC for almost all of them. I think I missed the first one, second one. I was here. We've always volunteered. We have a really good volunteer support. So I have friends, really good friends that come out and volunteer their time for the weekend. My dad also has some friends that come out, volunteer. We couldn't do it without them, so it's wonderful. And I volunteer my time to be here to help him out as well.
Excellent, excellent. So what can we say about this event, Steve, compared to any other in terms of participation? Who do we have here that... one thing I noticed about this being the SoCal State Championships is that it's actually open to anybody in the United States, correct?
It's an international tournament.
International.
Any state, any country. We have Canada coming, Alaska, Hawaii has about 4 boxing teams. We have Oregon, Washington, Utah, Arizona, Texas, Illinois, Nevada. And if I left anybody out, I apologize. But the main thing is I need to send out my gratitude to the officials. Without the officials in LBCs in California, I think there's some from out of state too that are helping us out. We can't have these competitions or tournaments without the officials at USA Boxing. I got to give them my gratitude first. Second big gratitude goes out to Title Boxing. Without Title Boxing, this event can't happen. They sponsor us with championship belts. 240 championship belts, ring decorations, t-shirts, wrapping tape. They supply it all for this tournament. So without Title, without our officials, this won't happen. Without my close friends that help us build the rings, it can't happen. I have a lot of volunteers that take off work, besides my own children, to put this event on. So it's a lot of volunteers that help make this happen.
And let's not forget the #1 supporters is all the boxers that come out and support our event. We love them. And they're very entertaining to watch.
Boxers, coaches, and spectators. Big gratitude and thank you to them. Oh, also the doctors, the physicians that come here, they take off work. You can't have boxing competition without the doctors, the physicians.
Shout out to the physicians here.
There's another one.
Yeah. So we do have more, okay. Good deal. All right. So Nancy, are you pretty proud of your dad and your mom for doing this?
Oh, unbelievably proud. It's amazing what they do to get this show started.
Yeah, I forgot her mom. This wouldn't happen without my wife, Kathy. If
They
I
put a
forget
lot
to
of work
thank
into
her.
this, and they do it because they love the sport and they love watching these boxers. So they dedicate almost the entire year just to get this tournament going and set up, and I'm unbelievably proud of them.
Now I used to be a boxer when I was younger. My dad was a pro. I'm well acquainted with the sport. But what I'm not acquainted with is a boxing tournament that has a certain special flair with regard to honey. Can you explain that? Because it's on the sign out there.
Well, besides being a sign painter by trade, I
He's a
also
honey man.
have a boxing gym. I also raise bees. I'm a beekeeper. So in my spare time, I'm out on the corner, or people come up to my house and buy my pure premium raw honey, buckwheat honey from Winchester, California. And there's a sign out front that says honey on it, but on top it says championship boxing with an arrow. So I left the honey on there, the old honey sign. And that's why it says also honey and boxing.
Okay, I thought there was honey for sale here. So when Delilah's mean to him, and she said, "Tell Steve to mind his beeswax," then that takes on a different meaning.
There you go.
Here's the secret about honey. When I was in high school and I competed in karate tournaments and did boxing, the coaches would give you a hit of honey before you competed and gave you a hit of honey after you competed. That helps you recover and gives you a natural boost of sugar to compete. And when you're done, it helps you recover. So pure raw honey from a real beekeeper. That's the ticket. Not monster drinks, not candy, not processed food. Pure raw honey, because the nectar in the flower, where honey comes from, is the most purest food source on earth. And honey was also used for medicine in the early days. Honey's good for everything. It's full of vitamins and minerals.
And John the Baptist, when he was in the desert, he ate honeycomb and locusts.
Oh, honeycomb.
And I happen to know that you have bee pollen, you have propolis, and you have royal jelly. Do you also do that sort of thing? Is that?
No, I don't process that, because you take pollen away from the bees. The bees use the pollen to feed their babies. Propolis, well, that comes from the resin in the trees. They use that to seal their hides. So some things I don't take away from the bees because it's essential that they need that. So I just harvest the honey.
So Nancy, what was it like growing around bees?
Scary. And they're in my house, so it's not the greatest thing in the world. The honey's good though.
Yeah, good. So Nancy, a little promo for you. You're an attorney, and you do family law.
I practice employment law, so I have my law office is the law office of Nancy Rose Hernandez. I practice employment law. In our office, we also have personal injury attorneys and workers' comp attorneys. It's a wonderful office, and so we advocate for employee rights.
Absolutely. All right, Steve, any last words before the color guard gets started? And I think you have a superstar in the making that is going to maybe sing the national anthem. And if I can find her, she's moving around like she's going to compete.
Okay, well, here's one thing. If you see an official, hug them. If you see one of the physicians, hug them and thank them. Buy your products, your boxing products from Title Boxing. The best products in the business. Anything else?
I think we're good. We're ready to get the show started.
All right.
All
We'll
right.
see you at the fights. Good